So Fox Sports has been hit with a serious lawsuit involving racism, sexism, misogyny, and happens to deal with a former host and a current host. And we're going to talk about that next on It's Culture. Let's get it. Welcome back to It's Culture Podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm the host of It's Culture Podcast. And today, we're going to dive deep into serious allegations involving prominent sports commentator Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor, amongst other Fox Sports personnel. As a former Fox Sports employee has filed a lawsuit accusing Bayless of sexual harassment and misconduct, while making additional claims against FS host Joy Taylor and executive Charlie Dixon. Now, before we get into that, if you could do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get all the updates. And as I say on all my shows, thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel and continues to come back and watch these videos. It's helping me out. It's giving me motivation to keep going. So let's get to it. Now, Skip Bayless, he's known for his role as the co-host of Fox Sports 1's Undisputed. He used to host a show with Shannon Sharpe. It ultimately got canceled last year when Shannon Sharpe stepped away and went to ESPN, and the ratings plummeted. And they tried to replace him with Keyshawn Johnson and Paul Pierce, and they've tried different people. And it didn't work out. It didn't work out at all. There was no vibes, anything like that. But right now, this lawsuit was filed by a woman named Nasheen Faraji. She's a former hairstylist at the network. And she alleges that Bayless offered her $1.5 million for sexual favors and engage in inappropriate physical contact. Now, this is crazy because this is the first time this has been brought up. But Fox Sports has had issues in the past with some of their female employees. According to this lawsuit, Faraji claims that Bayless initiated lingering hugs and after each haircut, pressing his body against hers and kissing her cheeks, causing significant discomfort. The lawsuit details an incident in 2021 where Faraji confided in Bayless about a potential health issue. Instead of offering up the support, she alleges that he expressed a desire to sleep with her and offer her $1.5 million for sexual relations. I have the actual lawsuit. It's 42 pages. I'm going to show y'all that in a little bit. We're not going to go through the entire lawsuit, but I'm just going to show you all. And I'll have a link posted in the description so you all can download and read the 42 pages yourself. Now, Faraji also alleges that Bayless accused her of having an intimate relationship with his co-host, Shannon Sharpe, further contributing to a hostile work environment. Now, Shannon came out already. He's made a statement saying that, this ain't got nothing to do with him. He actually spoke about it on the show, his podcast show with Ocho Cinco about it. He said, he ain't got nothing to do with this. Don't bring it. My name is Bennett, and I am not in it. Now, Charlie Dixon was the executive vice president of content for FS1. And in this lawsuit, she alleges that he groped her at a birthday party in 2021. And when she reported the incident to Joy Taylor allegedly dismissed her concerns, telling her to get over it. Now, Faraji further claims that Joy contributed to this hostile work environment through bullying behavior, exasperating the challenges that she faced during her tenure at Fox Sports. And this has made its way all around social media, and there's a lot of buzz. People are accusing Joy Taylor of sleeping her way to the top and advancing her careers. Some people trying to come to her defense and whatever. But what we do know is Fox Sports came out with a statement and where they basically acknowledged the allegation, state that they take it seriously and that they had no further comment because it was pending litigation. This is some serious stuff, y'all. And sometimes you try to figure things out, and you look at things and you try to figure out how this stuff happens, but you know that it continuously happens. It continuously happens. All right, let's look at the lawsuit, y'all. So this is a lawsuit. You see, it was filed in California, state of California, city of Los Angeles. The plaintiff is Nasheen Faraji, who I just spoke about, who was the stylist. And against Fox corporations and all their affiliates, as well as Charlie Dixon as an individual, Skip Bayless as an individual, and Joy Taylor as an individual, along with a bunch of John and Jane Does who were listed as 1 through 25. Now, this lawsuit, like I said, is 42 pages long. It is 14 charges in this. So let's look at them. Here they are. Failure to pay minimum wages. Failure to pay overtime wages. Failure to reimburse business expenses. Failure to pay all wages upon separation. Failure to furnish accurate itemized wage statements. Unfair, unlawful, or fraudulent business practices. That's the class action part of it. And then there is the individual part. Sexual battery. Hostile work environment, sex, gender. Hostile work environment, race, national origin. Hostile work environment, disability. Failure to prevent harassment. Negligent supervising, hiring, and retention. Retaliation, wrongful termination. And the demand is for a jury trial. That's what she's alleging. She has used the Civil Rights Act of 1964 to basically go after the entire Fox Sports channel and destroy them all because of it. And I talked about this in previous videos where you had what the Civil Rights Act was supposed to be used for and how it's used today. Unless you are a straight white man, the Civil Rights Act applies to everybody except them. And she used it to the T. So let's go through this lawsuit real quick and take a look at some of the things that's being alleged. All right. So we're going to find out when she started working there. Right. This is a summary of action. She said she brings forth this action because of over a decade at Fox, she was forced to endure misogynistic, racist, albeit workplace where executives and talent were allowed to physically and verbally abuse workers with impunity. When Ms. Faraji and others came forward to report the wrongdoing, instead of addressing these concerns, Fox retaliated against them while the perpetrators and those who protected them were inexplicably promoted. This ain't the first time I've heard things about Fox Sports. There was a time where, they had people performing sex acts on video in the workplace, filming themselves, sharing videos. We already know about all these things that goes on at Fox Sports. We saw how Skip Bayless treated Shannon Sharp, which ultimately led Shannon to lead the network because of that, because of the way he was being disrespected live on camera. Let's start with the background. The fact that she began to work at this salon, this sophisticated salon with cutting edge technology, Jose Iber hair salon. Then she got introduced to Gail Berman, who was the former president of entertainment for Fox Broadcast Company, and Dana Walden, the former CEO of Fox Television. So she talks about that. She became a makeup stylist who would do Miss Walden and Miss Berman's makeup when she worked on their hair. And then she was recommended for a position at Fox. Okay. She was already working in a salon, had experience. These women liked her work. They had an ability to get her hired, and they got her hired. Now, here's a part that gets to me. It says, Mr. Dixon gives Miss Taylor, Undisputed, a reward for having sex with him. Mr. Dixon, in this lawsuit, is actually the executive vice president of content. We talked about Charlie Dixon earlier. But it's saying that Taylor was an aspiring sports personality that had recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles for opportunities on air at Fox. At the time, Miss Taylor did not have a regular position, but would fill in on day-to-day basis when talent was sick and otherwise missed time. And that's pretty much how Joy's career started at Fox. She would show up on different shows. They did it with Ebony Williams a couple of times, brought her on. It's kind of like those fillers, right? Bring you on the show, see how you do, see if you could jive, see what the reaction is. Do like a focus group. There it is. They'll do a focus group to see how the people will react to different people being together in regards to on the show to see if it could work. Joy, she's an attractive woman. She was young, you know what I'm saying, attractive. And that kind of, if we want to talk about sports, you want to have, you got to have people that can get men, because that's really what we are really looking at. Trying to find somebody that can compete to bring the men to watch the show, because just two men sitting up there speaking, it's not going to do it. You need some type of eye candy on the set. And considering the fact that when Skip was on First Take, they had Carrie Champion at first, and then it went to Molly Karam. Skip needed something to kind of counteract that, because he was going to be going up against his old friend, Stephen A. Smith, in the same hour. It kind of goes into it, kind of says that when they met for drinks, Dixon would be there. He would buy the drinks. And she knew that, Joy had told her that she had got recently married. And I forget the man that she was dealing with at the time, but I do remember, in the lawsuit it says that Joy was married. I remember her getting engaged. I don't remember her being married, but the lawsuit said that she was married. Either way, I do remember her dating a former NBA basketball player, and their relationship was public. This is right about the same time she was on the show, and then all of a sudden it went away. But in the lawsuit, it said that the reason why it went away was because her husband found out that she was cheating with Charlie Dixon and filed for divorce. Now, if this is all true, who knows? But it wasn't painted like that. It wasn't painted like that. The way it got painted was that the guy was abusive, and that's the reason why. That's what Joy said. The guy was abusive. That's why she left. But needless to say, that's what went down. And you can see it keeps going on. It talks about her while she worked there. She see this man in the elevator at work, and Joy would tell her, "Hey, it's not a big deal, when the new show got pitched, the Undisputed show got pitched. Joy was the first person to come up, even though Skip Bayless didn't want her. Mr. Dixon was adamant about putting Joy on the show, and it was alleged that at the time Joy was working as a bartender, and all of a sudden she becomes a show host. They said that Bayless didn't want it. He actually disclosed to the stylist that he didn't want Taylor on the show. And then it kind of goes into the relationship. And then, like I said, it says that it was an inappropriate relationship, that was the cause of the divorce for Joy Taylor. It kind of keeps going. And then it talks about Gropes Faraji after putting her on the show. Talks about how he groped her and stuff like that. And then he starts to get rid of female talent. She's alleging that he was getting rid of the female talent if they didn't want to screw him. That's Charlie Dixon. And then she talks about, like I said in my opening, Skip Bayless he had started to kind of grope her and hug her inappropriately when she was cutting his hair. And then after she went on medical leave, she had an hours cut, and then she was asked to join the herd. Now, in this lawsuit, I gotta say, Colin Coward, who's the host of the herd, it is alleged that he didn't have anything to do with nothing. Like, he was the consummate professional at work. He didn't do all this stuff. He didn't make no advances at nobody at Fox Sports. He was the consummate professional. And then there's somebody named Mr. Diaz who racially and sexually harassed Miss Faraji. It kind of goes into a lot of stuff. But then again, if there's uses her sexuality, Joy uses her sexuality again. Now, this is the one I want to talk about. Because if you watch Fox Sports, you know that Joy left Undisputed, and then she went to Colin Coward's show, The Herd, and then Fox was pitching a new show called Speak for Yourself. Now, that show, when it first came out, It had LaShawn McCoy, um, Emmanuel Acho, Joy Taylor, and James Jones on it. This lawsuit says that when she went to lunch, Miss Faraji went to lunch with Joy Taylor, that Emmanuel Acho was there. And she didn't know if Acho and Joy were involved, but allegedly that's what she's claiming. That's the reason why she was on the show, because she, slept with Acho and ended up on the show. And then said that she was targeted because of her ethnicity, and then she had cancer, and then that's when Skip Bayless offered her $1.5 million to have sex with her. And then she said her job got threatened because she didn't sleep with Mr. Bayless. All this stuff in this complaint. It's a bombshell. It's an absolute bombshell. Skip, his show kind of plummeted after Shannon left, but it doesn't surprise me that some old white man would be using his position of power to get what he want in exchange for advancement. This happens in corporate America all the time. But what does it for me is Joy Taylor. Joy has presented herself on camera as this person who's all about women's, rights and feminism and all this stuff. And if you out here screwing your coworkers for advancement, you have set women back in sports, and pretty much in corporate America, you set them back 50 years, because that's what it's already been alleged. It's already been alleged that women only get these positions because they screwing their way to the top. And if you didn't have no experience at the time and they put you on the show because you were screwing the executive vice president, then you are no better than the women that you're supposed to be trying to empower and be a role model for. Skip Bayless is a douchebag. We saw his little outburst online where he totally tried to discredit with Shannon Sharp his accomplishments and his career, saying that he was jealous of Tom Brady, even though Shannon Sharp is a Hall of Famer and had a Hall of Fame career and has his own businesses and everything else. He accused Shannon Sharp of being jealous of the man. We also know that there were some tensions, with him leaving ESPN. He felt like Stephen A was getting a little more shine to him. That's why he needed his own show. So I can see him being egotistical, using his position, thinking that. But I also think about, him talking about his wife, Ernestine, all the time on camera. And you out here completely being a dirtbag. Hopefully his wife leave him if these allegations are true. And then you have, like I said, Joy Taylor, Emmanuel Acho. Acho supposed to be like the face. He always want to speak on black issues and all this. I'm actually blocked by Acho because I said something to him a couple of years ago and he blocked me on social, And then, when it was, he did a big soliloquy to Joy about International Women's Day, did a whole Instagram video talking about Joy Taylor, giving her shouts out. When we know now, which is alleged in this thing, all this stuff is alleged, that you was sleeping with Joy. Just disgusting, despicable. Now, neither one of them have come out and said anything. There's been no statements from any of them. I know Acho he took down that video where he was talking about Joy. He took that off his social. He's been deleting all his posts about Joy Taylor on his social media. But brother, the screenshots is already out there. The videos are already out there. Even though you think you can try to go out there and delete stuff, this stuff lives on servers and it lives on people's computers, and they wait for times like this to bring these things out. You're not getting over this. You screwing your coworker. There's no harm in that. But if she was sleeping with everybody at Fox Sports to get ahead, then that's a big problem. That shows you that she understood that her talent was not good enough. Her talent wasn't good enough. And it also is being alleged that she's told the woman, Miss Faraji, that if Dixon tried to do anything, she would just go to the bosses and tell them that that he sexually assaulted her. So she already had it in her mind how she was going to get out of all of this. Just absolutely despicable, disgusting. You gonna run to the one thing that most women utilize, um, the Me Too stuff. So when your spot blow up, then all of a sudden now, oh, I was a victim. He used his position to force me to do things I didn't want to do. Like, you really were gonna try to play the victim in all of this? Just nasty. Just nasty. Just absolutely nasty that you would try to use a a uh a an egregious act against women to try to get out of something, knowing damn well that you on the other side sleeping with this man, so you can get promotions and opportunities. No accountability whatsoever. Zero. Lack of accountability. Just absolutely pathetic. So, like I said, I'm gonna post this in the comment section. You all are more than welcome to review the entire 42 pages. It's so much in there. But this is absolutely disgusting. I have lost all respect for both. Well, I didn't really have no respect for Skip Bayless in the first place, but I've lost all respect for Joy Taylor. I thought that she was an up and coming, knowledgeable sports guru, but you're nothing more than a pretty face who used your pretty face and your boobs to advance. Typical. So, y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Until next time, Coaching Nation, let's keep it coaching.